Why is it so zoomed in? Get out of here. Hi guys, I have COVID, so I can't film any of the content I wanted to film. So I'm in my bedroom and I'm feeling really nice and cozy. I set a candle. I feel good. I feel okay. I feel really dizzy, but let's just ignore that, okay? So basically I'm going to be doing a really random answering questions that I've been avoiding. I'm going to kind of make this kind of cozy, just tell you guys the goss, because I know that you like gossip on this channel. And the questions I get asked every single day that I just ignore. But maybe I shouldn't. And maybe today I will not ignore them. Maybe I will still ignore some. But I'm here and I've got a brownie from Sweet Baked Sensations. Georgia got it for me as a present, so thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Mitchell, as well, because he made it for me, even though he was sold out. I love you. Best brownies ever. Can we just appreciate quickly? So I'm going to eat a brownie. If you haven't ate today, this is your sign to go eat something. Let's eat together. I'm just going to make this really, like, chilled, okay? I'm just going to go through some questions that you guys have been asking recently, and yeah, I hope you do enjoy this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, as I've always wanted to get like big likes on my videos, but it never happens because people never like videos on YouTube, and I feel like we should start making it a trend. And we should also make dab. I saw it on TikTok and I thought of it. Anyways, I'm going to eat a brownie. We're going to go through and answer some of the questions. Someone said, did your COVID test actually come back positive? Yes. I feel like I really made people confused, even like my best friends, because I put on a story of all my lateral flows that came back negative. The one that I took on the day I had my test even came back negative. So it's really random because obviously my PCR is positive. Every lateral I've took is negative. So I'm just kind of confused. I definitely have it because my PCR is more accurate than a lateral flow is anyways. But yeah, I do have COVID. I'm not lying. Fave online shopping website. It changes all the time, but recently, I mean, I got a massive order from New Look, and recently it's been really popping off on there, and like, their clothes are really trendy now. Like, I feel like when you look at New Look, you look quite young, but it's really like, obviously you've still got your younger bits for the younger girls, but for like my age, there's actually some really cute bits on there. Like, the mum jeans are the best things ever from New Look. Like, all my mum jeans at the moment are from New Look, so yeah, I actually really like New Look, and also their coats are really comfortable. So I would have to say New Look. Is Mark your real dad? Yes, my dad is my real dad. I feel like people don't see my dad very often, which I really want you to see him more. But my dad is my real dad, and I have the same dad as my two sisters, but I use my middle name on my social media. My sisters use our last name, which is Hobson. So least favourite thing about working with brands, I would say, is when they like restrict you on things that you would normally do in content. Because like with my content, if I'm doing an ad, I don't want it to look so addy that it doesn't even look like something I would post, you know what I mean? I don't know, I think with brands, like, if you're a brand and you're watching this and you're trying to get influencers, make sure that you let them have a bit of freeway content. This is what I love about New Look. This is what I love about Skin Proud. Companies like this that give me all of the free, like, creativity ideas. Like, I love that, because when a brand restricts an influencer on what they would normally post, that's when the ad will not do well. If you let an influencer post like they would, maybe not swear and maybe not all of that, but like if you're letting them post how they normally would, then I think more people are like, oh, they actually like, oh, this is authentic. When a brand makes you say like a certain script or something, you just know that they're not saying that. And I think that's what I love about all the brands I work with, that they do let me like have my own script almost, and like say it how I would. And I would never work with a brand. Normally what I do is I'll get gifted by the brand before I work with the brand on a paid advertisement way, and if I really genuinely like the brand, I'll say yes, and if I don't, I'll say no. Like, that is just how I work. How comes you have all boys pinned? Okay, so on my Snapchat I have Dan, George and Alfie pinned at the moment. It's because we was on FaceTime last night, and I was just talking to them, and then I pinned them. But I posted a story thing, and it was like Dan, George and Alfie was pinned, and then everyone was like, why have you got 3 boys pinned? That's so unloyal to Alfie. Alfie doesn't find it like that. Like, they literally were all on FaceTime. I just text them the most, so I just pin them. I think a lot of people get confused because like, they call me pick-me's and stuff, but genuinely, like, at school, I have girl mates, and like, I literally, there's a 2 girls that I'm getting really close with at the moment, Maya and Abby. And there's a lot of stuff we want to do together, like go London and stuff. And I do have girl mates, but like, my close group is just a bunch of boys, and it's not even like a pick me way, because I don't go out of my way to be like, oh, I hang around with boys. But like, just at school, like if I was to go to anyone, it would be Dan, George, Ted and Alfie. Like that is just who I'd go to. But I also have tons of girlfriends. Like I literally have so many different kind of friends in my school. But like I only show my closest friends because I never know if people are just using me or not. And I think that is what is like, oh. Because when I go to school and stuff and like people are like, oh, can you shout out my mum's account? Why would I shout out your mum's account? You don't even like me. Like, make it make sense. But yeah, I think like with school, I only show my close friends because I don't want to show you other people and then realise that they're just using me because they wanted to shout out and they got what they wanted. So I never really shout people out, really. Have you ever questioned your sexuality? No, I know people can be like, oh, when I had a boyfriend I still questioned it, but I haven't. No, I'm straight. I don't want people to be like, oh, I can't follow her because she's not like how I am, because I literally support gay people, whatever. And if you are lesbian, gay, bisexual, whatever, then go you, because you've got a lot about yourself and you should be really proud of yourself if you've came out. And if you haven't, then don't rush, doesn't matter. Someone said, why did your friendship group change? I think people change. People aren't the same as they was at the start of a friendship. And yeah, there's not really much to it. I just think sometimes things just don't really work out as friendships, and like we have different perspectives for things. So yeah, that's just what happened basically. For the people that keep asking, nothing major, just literally like different perspective on things. They've moved on. I've moved to the same group that I've always been with. I mean, like they've gone to a new group and I've stayed with my group. Yeah, that's all. Oh my god, all of these questions are the same questions, guys. Okay, TikTokers I don't like. I feel like I always get this question and I say the same person. There is a few that I literally cannot say. Like, I would love to, because there's so many TikTokers that are so two-faced. Not even two-faced, I don't particularly like them because I just don't think they're the same as how they act on social media. Have you ever thought about vaping or wanted to try it? So like, in my school, it is so popular to vape. Like, everyone vapes, and I don't really like, none of that stuff's ever appealed to me. I think I've grew up with like a family that's never really been like that, and like none of my family smoke or vape or any of that, so like I haven't really seen that side. And like I have so many really close friends that vape, and like that's not something I would want to do. I remember once someone called me my TikTok and was like, I just saw you vaping in Lakeside. I was like, who was I vaping with? Like, I think I was with my mum when they put it, but I wasn't even in Lakeside. I wouldn't recommend doing it, trust me. That's what you want to live your life, like live your life like that if you want to vape. But personally, no. Why don't you show you and Alfie kissing? I mean, I am really young. I don't think I need to. Like, I don't get that. Have you ever seen or DM'd another person behind your boyfriend's back? No. I text a lot of boys, but that's only in a friendship way. Like, I never text them and like, oh my god, you're so fit. Most expensive thing you bought out of your own money? So the other day I was so bored. So I think the most expensive thing I've ever bought is probably a MacBook. I've bought 2 MacBooks this year because I broke one and had to buy a new one. So bad. Yeah, it must be a MacBook. I can't think of anything else that's really expensive I've bought. An iPad, a MacBook or a phone. I've bought all of my phones since I got... So my parents, like when I was like year 6 and stuff, they gave me like a hand-me-down phone, and then year 7, I don't even know how I made money. I think I went on Lively, which was like Musical.ly Lives, and I just got so much money from there that I bought a phone with it. Obviously my parents pay for like the EE thing because I do not know how to work that. I just kind of, since I've been able to afford it, I wouldn't want my parents to have to buy it for me. Because it's like a job well done when I buy it, I don't know. How many detentions have you had in school? I actually don't think I've had that many detentions. I had one after school last year. Only one. And it was because I didn't do my homework, I think. No, it wasn't. I said something about how I really wanted to isolate so I could come out of school for 2 weeks. And then the school was like, called my mum, was like, she's basically saying that she wants someone to get corona so that she can stay off, which we think is really bad. And it is really bad. I wouldn't say it like that. I literally just said like I wanted to isolate for 2 weeks because so many kids in my year was isolating, and I was like, why is it not me? Now I'm sitting here in isolation wishing I never said that because I basically jinxed it. Someone said, what happened between you and Smithy? Honestly, Smithy's still like one of my close friends. Trust me guys, me and Smithy are really close friends still. We're not in the same friend group anymore, but I'm really close with some of the girls in her friend group. And she's close with me. I text Smithy every day, like we're still really close. I don't even know. I think she just like left the friend group I was in and she went to a new one, and then we just stayed friends. Yeah, I've never fell out with Smithy. Someone said, you always talk about how you struggle to eat. What is it that you struggle with? Okay, I feel like this is something that I want to talk about because I know a lot of you guys like go through problems with eating and stuff, and it's like I have like this thing, and we spoke to the doctors about it and stuff, and it's like where I'm like afraid of trying new food, like afraid of trying new foods, and like textures of food really scare me. Called ARFID, which is like avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, which is like you're like scared of trying new foods and like textures and stuff, and you always have headaches, you always like you're always achy, you always fall ill quicker than others. And like I have never ate the right nutrition in foods. Like I never eat what I should eat because I'm like afraid of food. Like it's really weird. People will be like, oh, eat this pasta, and I'll be like, I don't eat pasta. And they'll be like, oh, spaghetti. I'm like, I don't eat spaghetti. Like I think I've always struggled with it. And people are always like, oh my god, just say fussy. But like I genuinely can't help it. Like if I could eat pasta, spaghetti, whatever, I would, but I genuinely can't because I like am scared of it. It's so weird. It's so weird. Have you ever got into a physical fight? No, I've never been in a physical fight. I think I pushed a boy in primary school, but I've never got in a physical fight, no. Like, I've never been like, ah. I used to do street fighting, which was really fun. That's my only way of physical fighting that I've done, because I used to get to punch in bags. What happened in year 8? A lot happened in year 8. That's when I went through like really bad bullying. I think that was like the worst for bullying times, because there was a bunch of people that like turned against me, and then I had like all different groups start on me, and it would be like people would threaten to stab me, and people would threaten a lot of horrible things. And it's all like blown over now really, but in year 8 and year 9, no, I've had the worst time of my life at school, I won't even lie. Like in year 7 it was okay. This year's been, I cry myself when I'm walking, like I cry myself. I cry in the toilets all the time. But just over random things. But I think year 8 and year 9 was the worst time of my life. Like people are always like, oh, year 8 and year 9 are the best years. No, they're really not, in my opinion. I had a lot going on, and like it's just the rumours, it's just so many like little things that people, apparently I said this, apparently I called someone fat, apparently I called someone ugly, apparently I said this. Like it was just all these little things that like just didn't make sense. Like, and I used to have girls call me like all sorts of names. Like someone would be like, oh, you literally look like a twig, you're anorexic. Someone would be like, she's a snob, she thinks she's so famous. And then someone else would be like, oh, do you know that Amelie, her mum pays the school to protect her in arguments? What the hell? What is wrong with people? Like, if you ever see, this is what I get the most, people in my school, year 7s to year 11s, will comment on TikToks that are about me and be like, she goes to my school, she's the rudest guy I've ever met. Genuinely, anyone in the younger years, anyone in the older years, all I ever get is grief from them. And like they will literally come up to me and be like, Amy, you think you're famous, or they'll be like, oh, can I have a shout out? F off then. Or like, they'll say all these horrible stuff. I'm just sitting there like, you good? You good? I just think with my school, so many people don't like what I'm doing, and they will try anything to try to get me out of it. Like they will literally make the biggest lie up on a TikTok account. Like, oh my god, the amount of stuff I've seen about me, the amount of stuff on TikTok comments where it's like, oh, I go to Amy's school, she's so horrible. Yeah, she's literally like the teacher's pet.
No, I'm really not.
Big 40s in a big ass Draco. 3 more millions when you ask how my day go. Order a buffalo, not a blueberry fago. Fuck over and we play this one shit. 2 small pins just to take you out real quick. 3 more hoes, pull up, I'm fucking shit, that's how it goes.